I watched a rider turn a simple speeding ticket into a felony charge, a $15,000 impound bill, and 6 months without a license, all because he made 3 stupid decisions in the first 30 seconds of the stop. Here's the brutal truth. Most riders think they know how to handle a traffic stop. Pull over, hand over your license, maybe argue a little, drive away with a ticket. But that's not how it actually works. One wrong move and you're looking at arrest, impound, massive fines, and legal fees that will drain your bank account for months. I'm breaking down the 10 worst mistakes bikers make when they get pulled over. The stuff that turns a $200 ticket into a $10,000 disaster. I guarantee you've made at least one of these mistakes. Most riders have made 3 or 4 without even realizing it. The problem is, police officers are trained to spot these errors and use them against you. Every single one of these mistakes gives them legal justification to escalate, search, cite, or arrest. Mistake 1. Running or hesitating to pull over. The worst thing you can do is not stop immediately. I do not care if you are looking for a safer spot. I do not care if you want to get to a parking lot. I do not care if you are 2 blocks from home. The second those lights come on, you pull over. Right there. Immediately. Here is what happens when you do not. The officer radios in that you are failing to yield. That is a separate charge. But it gets worse. If you go more than a block or 2, they will call it evading. That is a felony in most states. It does not matter that you were just looking for a better spot. It does not matter that you put your hazards on. The legal definition of evading is failing to stop immediately when signaled by law enforcement. I have seen this play out. A rider gets lit up on a narrow road. He is thinking he will just go to that gas station up ahead where it is safer. He goes 2 blocks. He pulls into the parking lot. He shuts off his bike. He thinks he did the right thing. 3 police cars show up, weapons drawn, and a felony stop procedure begins. He is pulled off the bike, cuffed, face down on the pavement. His bike gets impounded. He is charged with evading, which can carry up to 5 years in some states. His license is suspended immediately. He has to post bail. All of this because he wanted a safer place to stop. The officer perspective is simple. They do not know why you are not stopping. Are you hiding something? Are you armed? Are you going to run? Every second you do not stop, their threat assessment goes up. By the time you finally pull over, they approach your bike like you are a dangerous suspect, not a traffic violator. What you do instead: lights come on, you signal, you pull to the right, and you stop. It does not matter if it seems like a bad spot. It does not matter if there is no shoulder. You stop where you are, hazards on, engine off, kickstand down, hands visible. You sit there and you wait. If it is genuinely dangerous, like you are in a live lane of traffic, the officer will tell you to move. They will direct you. That decision is theirs, not yours. Mistake 2. Keeping your helmet on and reaching for stuff. Helmet. The second you stop, your hands need to be visible and you need to stay still. Do not reach for anything. Do not take off your helmet yet. Do not start digging in your pockets or your tank bag. Sit there with your hands on your bars or your thighs where the officer can see them. Hands still. Here is why. The officer is walking up to a person wearing a full-face helmet and heavy gear. They cannot see your face. They cannot read your expression. They cannot see your hands if you are moving them around. From their perspective, you could be reaching for a weapon. You could be hiding something. You could be about to do something stupid. Full face. I have talked to cops about this. They will tell you the most dangerous moment of a traffic stop is the approach. They do not know who you are. They do not know what you are carrying. They do not know if you are wanted. All they know is you are on a bike that can outrun their car, and you are covered head to toe in gear that hides everything. Most dangerous. So when they see you moving your hands, reaching into your jacket, or digging in your bag, their training kicks in. Threat response. They are putting their hand on their weapon. They are calling for backup. And if you make the wrong move at the wrong time, you could have a gun pointed at you. Threat response. I watched this happen. A rider gets stopped, and he keeps his helmet on because it is cold. He starts reaching for his wallet before the officer even gets to him. The officer sees the movement, cannot see the rider's face, and assumes a threat. The officer draws his weapon and orders the rider off the bike at gunpoint. Backup arrives, and the whole thing turns into a traumatic mess. All because the rider was trying to be helpful by getting his license ready. Felony stop. What you do instead. Engine off. Kickstand down. Hands on the bars or visible on your thighs. Sit there. Wait. When the officer gets to you, they will tell you what to do. If they want your helmet off, they will ask. If they want your documents, they will tell you. Do not move until you are instructed. Here is the critical part. When they do ask for your license and registration, tell them where it is before you reach for it. For example, say my wallet is in my inside jacket pocket. Say my registration is in my tank bag. Announce it, then move slowly. No sudden movements. No digging around. Slow and visible. Announce it. Mistake 3, not having license, registration, and insurance ready. If you do not have your documents, you are in serious trouble. I'm talking about riders who forgot their wallet, or their registration expired, or they do not have proof of insurance. That is not a minor inconvenience. That is a legal disaster. No license? That is a $500 to $1,000 fine in most states, and your bike can be impounded. No insurance? That can mean impoundment and fines starting at $2,000. Expired registration? That is $200, and the officer now has justification to inspect every single thing on your bike. Here is what actually happens. You hand over an expired registration. The officer sees that and thinks that this rider does not maintain their paperwork. Now they walk around your bike. They are looking at your exhaust, your lights, your tires, and your plate. Every modification becomes a citation. Examples include loud pipe, $200, no mirrors, $150, tinted plate cover, $100, underglow lights, $200. One missing document triggers a full vehicle inspection, and once they start looking, they often find everything. I have seen a rider get stopped for 10 over, with registration expired by 2 months. The officer walks around the bike, finds aftermarket exhaust with no EPA stamp, finds HID headlights that are not DOT approved, finds a license plate frame that partially covers the state name, finds bar-end mirrors that do not meet the size requirement. 5 violations, $850 in fines, plus the original speeding ticket, plus the registration penalty. The correct approach is simple. Keep your license in your wallet. Keep your wallet on you every time. Keep your registration and insurance card in a tank bag or in your jacket pocket. Check expiration dates once a month. Set a phone reminder. Make sure everything is current before you ride. Mistake 4. Arguing, lying, or admitting guilt. Your mouth can cost you more than anything else during a traffic stop. There are 3 verbal disasters that turn a simple citation into a court nightmare: arguing with the officer, lying about what happened, and admitting guilt. Let us start with arguing. The second you say I wasn't going that fast, or that's not what happened, or I know my rights, you have just made everything worse. You are not going to win a legal argument on the side of the road. The officer has already decided to stop you. They have already decided what they saw. Your argument does not change their mind, it just makes them angry. Here is what happens when you challenge an officer's credibility. They write everything down, every word you said, every challenge you made. Now they are motivated to show up in court because you made it personal. You called them a liar. So instead of a ticket you could have fought with a lawyer, you now have a ticket and an officer who will testify against you with detailed notes about your attitude. Then there is lying. If an officer asks where you are coming from and you make up a story, you create a credibility problem. You might say just heading home from work, but your GPS shows you came from a bar, or they smell alcohol, or your story contradicts something else they see. Everything you say becomes suspect. If they catch you in one lie, they assume you are lying about everything else. The worst part about lying is it gives them justification to dig deeper. If you are lying about where you have been, what else are you lying about? Are you carrying something? Are you drunk? Are you wanted? Now they are calling for backup, asking more questions, and looking for reasons to search. But the biggest disaster is admitting guilt. Saying I know I was speeding, but I'm late for work is effectively pleading guilty on their body cam recording. That statement will be used against you in court. Your lawyer cannot help you, you confessed. Riders also say I did not see the stop sign, I was only going 10 miles per hour over, or my brake light must be out, I will get it fixed. Those are admissions. Every single one of those statements is evidence against you. What you say instead, I understand. Yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. And if they ask a question that could incriminate you, I would prefer not to answer that. You are polite, you are respectful, but you are not giving them ammunition. If the officer asks, do you know why I pulled you over? Do not guess. Say, no, sir, I do not. If they ask, do you know how fast you were going? Say, I would prefer not to answer that. If they ask where you are going, say, I am just out riding. Keep answers short, polite, and non-incriminating. You are not being difficult, you are protecting yourself. Anything you say can and will be used against you. That is not a cliche, that is exactly how it works. Mistake 5. Having illegal modifications visible. Once you are stopped, everything on your bike is fair game. The officer can walk around it, look at it, and cite you for every single illegal modification they see. Most riders have at least 3 violations sitting right there in plain view. The most common ones are loud exhaust, no mirrors, a tinted plate cover, underglow lights, and a fender eliminator that leaves a tiny license plate. Each one of those can be a citation. And here's the problem. One violation triggers a full vehicle inspection. The officer will start looking closer. Now they are checking your tire tread, your turn signals, your headlight brightness, your handlebar height, everything. I have watched this cascade happen. A rider gets stopped for 15 miles per hour over the speed limit. The officer walks around the bike while writing the ticket. They see an aftermarket exhaust with no EPA stamp. That is $200. They see bar-end mirrors that do not meet the minimum size requirement. That is $150. They see a fender eliminator that puts the plate at an illegal angle. That is $100. They see LED strips under the bike. That is $200. 5 minutes ago it was a speeding ticket. Now it is $650 in violations, plus the original citation. The financial reality is brutal. Most states charge $150 to $250 per equipment violation. If you have 5 violations, that is $1,000 right there. You also get fix-it tickets. That means you have to fix the violations, get them inspected, and provide proof to the court. If you do not, the fines double and you can get a warrant. The worst offenders are emissions-related modifications. If you have removed your catalytic converter or your EVAP system, that is not just a state violation, that is a federal EPA violation. The fines start at $2,500 and can go up to $25,000 for repeat offenders. I am not making that up. The EPA does not mess around with emissions tampering. Then there is lighting. HID or LEED headlights that are not DOT approved are illegal in every state. They are too bright, they blind oncoming traffic, and officers see them as a safety hazard. If they see aftermarket HID headlights, that is an automatic citation. The same goes for colored lights. Blue or red, anything on your bike is illegal because that is emergency vehicle equipment. You will get cited and possibly arrested depending on the state. What triggers a closer inspection? Your attitude, prior stops in the system, invisible club affiliation. If you are wearing a 1% patch or club colors, the officer is going to look at everything. That is just reality. Mistake 6. Carrying weapons or contraband. This is where riders get themselves into serious criminal trouble. Not traffic violations. Criminal charges. You are carrying something illegal, and you either do not know it or you think you can hide it. Start with firearms. Saying you have a concealed carry permit does not automatically make it legal to carry on a motorcycle. Most states require the weapon to be in a locked container that is not accessible while riding. A bike does not have a trunk. Your saddlebag is not a locked container in most states. So even with a permit, you can be violating the law. And here is the nightmare. Gun laws change from state to state. What is legal in Arizona may be a felony in California. If you cross state lines with a firearm on your bike, you must know exactly what every state's laws are. Because ignorance is not a defense. The other problem is disclosure. In most states with concealed carry, you are required to immediately inform the officer that you are armed, before they ask and before they approach. You are supposed to keep your hands visible and announce it. If you do not, and they find it during a pat-down or search, you can be arrested. That is a felony in some states, carrying a concealed weapon without disclosure. Then there is everything else people carry that they think is fine. Open containers, prescription medication without the bottle, knives over the legal length, brass knuckles, expandable batons, pepper spray in states where it is restricted. All of that is contraband. All of that can get you arrested. Here is what triggers a search: smell, visible items, nervous behavior, and officer safety checks. If the officer smells alcohol or marijuana, they have probable cause. If they see something suspicious in your bag or on your person, they can search. If you are acting nervous or evasive, they can do a pat-down for weapons. And once they start searching, they find everything. Your bags get emptied. Your pockets get checked. Your bike gets torn apart. And if they find anything illegal, your bike gets impounded and you get arrested. The worst mistake is lying when they ask. If an officer asks if you have anything illegal on you and you say no, and they find a knife that is over the legal length, now you have the weapons charge plus you lied to a police officer. That is obstruction. That is a separate charge. What you need to know are state-specific knife laws. In some states, anything over 3 inches is illegal. In others, it is 4 inches. Automatic knives are illegal in most states. Brass knuckles are illegal everywhere. Expandable batons require a permit in most places. Pepper spray has restrictions in several states. The correct approach is simple. Know your state laws before you ride. If you are carrying a legal weapon, disclose it immediately. Say, "Officer, I am legally carrying a firearm in my right saddlebag. I have a permit." Keep your hands visible. No sudden moves. Let them secure it if they want. Never carry contraband. Period. Mistake 7. Refusing requests versus refusing orders. Here is the critical distinction most riders do not understand. There is a difference between a request and a lawful order. You can refuse a request. You cannot refuse a lawful order. And if you get it wrong, you will be arrested. A request sounds like this: "Can I search your bike? Mind if I look in your bag? Would you step over here for a minute?" Those are requests. You have the right to refuse. "I do not consent to searches" is a perfectly legal response. But here is what happens when you refuse. The officer's approach changes. They think, "Why will this person not let me search? What are they hiding?" Now they are looking for probable cause. They are calling a K-9 unit. They are getting a warrant. Or they will let you go if they do not have enough evidence. The problem is most riders refuse in a way that escalates the situation. They get aggressive. "You cannot search my bike without a warrant," they might say. That is technically true. But the tone just made everything worse. Now the officer is motivated to find a reason to search. A lawful order is different. "I need you to step off the bike. Show me your license and registration. Move to the sidewalk. Perform the sobriety test." Those are orders. You have to comply. Refusing a lawful order is obstruction. That is an arrestable offense. Here is how you tell the difference. If the officer says, "Can I or would you?" that is a request. If they say, "I need you to," or just tell you to do something, that is an order. The consequences of refusing a lawful order are an obstruction charge, arrest, bike impound, and now you have a criminal charge on top of whatever traffic violation you had. The correct response is polite refusal of requests. I would prefer not to consent to a search. Immediate compliance with orders, no argument, no resistance. Mistake 8. Recording incorrectly or announcing it aggressively. You have the legal right to record a traffic stop, but the way you do it matters. Announcing it aggressively is tactical stupidity. Saying you are recording and you will post the video online in an aggressive tone just escalates the entire stop. The officer's demeanor changes. They become hyper-aware of everything they say and do, and they look for every possible violation to justify the stop on camera. To record correctly, mount a camera on your helmet or your bike. Do not announce it. Keep recording. Stay calm. The video is your evidence if you need it in court. Making the interaction confrontational only hurts you. What not to do. Do not shove your phone in the officer's face. Do not threaten to post the video. Do not cite laws incorrectly. Saying I know my rights and this is illegal when you do not actually know what is legal makes you sound foolish on your own recording. The retaliation risk is real. Not every officer, but some, will look for every possible violation once they know they are being recorded. That exhaust you thought was borderline may become a citation. Those bar-in mirrors may become a citation. That plate frame may become a citation. Officers protect themselves by writing everything down. Body cameras do not protect you. Officers control the narrative in their report, and their video captures your behavior too. If you are aggressive or argumentative, that will be on camera and work against you. The correct approach is silent recording and a polite interaction. Let the video speak for itself if you need it in court. Mistake 9. Signing the ticket wrong or refusing to sign. The phrase "I'm not signing this" can get you arrested in most states, immediately. Here is what riders don't understand. Your signature on a ticket is not an admission of guilt. It is a promise to appear in court or to pay the fine. That is it. It is a legal requirement. Refusing to sign is failure to comply with a lawful order. What happens when you refuse? You get arrested. Your bike gets impounded. You have to post bail. You still have a court date. And now you have an additional charge for obstruction or failure to comply. I have watched this happen. A rider thinks signing means he is admitting he was speeding. He refuses to sign. He gets cuffed. The bike gets towed. He spends the night in jail. He pays $500 bail. He still has to fight the ticket in court. Plus now he has the obstruction charge. The confusion comes from not understanding what the signature means. You are not saying I am guilty. You are saying I received this citation and I promise to handle it. You fight the ticket later, in court, with a lawyer, not on the side of the road. Mistake 10. Not documenting or following up. The stop isn't over when you ride away. That's when most riders make their biggest mistake. They think it's done. They shove the ticket in their pocket and forget about it. Then they miss the court date, or they don't pay the fine, or they don't fix the violations. And now there's a warrant. Here is the follow-up disaster cycle. You get a ticket, you mean to handle it, life gets busy. The court date passes, the system issues a warrant. You don't know about it because you moved, or the mail did not reach you. 6 months later, you get stopped again. They run your license. Active warrant, you're arrested on the spot. Your bike gets impounded, you pay bail, you pay impound fees, you pay the original fine plus late penalties. That $200 ticket just became $2,000. The other failure is documentation. You need to photograph everything immediately. The location, the road conditions, your bike's position, traffic, weather, anything that is relevant to why you got stopped. Because 3 months from now, when you are in court, you will not remember the details. Your lawyer needs evidence. What you need right there. Photos of the scene from multiple angles. Notes about what the officer said. Witness information if anyone saw what happened. Time and date stamps on everything. Court preparation mistakes kill cases. Riders show up without evidence, without a lawyer for serious charges, without proof they fixed the violations. The judge looks at an unprepared defendant and rules against them. The correct approach is simple. Calendar, the court date immediately. Set 3 reminders. Photograph everything at the scene. Consult a traffic lawyer for anything serious. Fix violations within a week and get documentation. Treat this like the legal process it is. One stupid move during a traffic stop can compound into a serious financial disaster. Most of it comes down to controlling your reaction. Stay calm, keep your mouth shut, follow instructions, document everything. Which of these mistakes have you caught yourself making? Drop a comment about your worst traffic stop experience, and hit subscribe so we can keep building a smarter riding community together. Remember to like and hit that notification bell